Hello and welcome to this video where we will explore some of the highlights of BNamericas 2024 Mining Industry Survey. I'm Laura Superno, Managing Editor of Research at BNamericas. BNamericas 2024 Mining Survey highlights an increasing focus on growth in the sector, reflective of an industry that is very conscious of the need to expand production to satisfy the demands of the energy transition. Each year, we ask participants what they believe will be the industry's primary strategic focus over the coming 12 months. This year, as in past years, operational optimization received the most responses. However, the percentage of responses is the lowest ever, at just 1/3. This marks the continuation of a gradual trend emerging since the pandemic of reduced emphasis on optimization in favor of organic growth, ESG, and, notably this year, mergers and acquisitions. Organic growth received 25% of total responses in 2024, and M&A received 14%. We consider both of these to be aimed at increasing production or positioning to increase production. Meanwhile, the 2024 survey shows a decrease compared to last year's survey in the percentage of respondents who say that ESG will be the industry's maximum priority. Our view is that this does not mean that companies feel ESG is necessarily less critical than a year ago, but rather that the pressure has increased on mining companies to respond to demand. Hence, more survey respondents believe organic growth will be the #1 priority. And even though there's a sense of urgency building around the need to supply the world with what are now commonly referred to as critical minerals, many survey participants expressed a sense of caution toward any race to expand capacity. We asked survey respondents, what is your view on critical minerals for the energy transition? One alternative received a clear majority of 62%. The world will need more minerals, but more legal, financial, and/or ESG certainty is needed in order to make investment decisions. 23% of respondents selected the alternative, unprecedented demand boom is imminent, increase production volume as fast as responsibly possible, and the remaining 16% chose proceed with caution, a demand boom is not guaranteed. So while a combined 86% of respondents agree that demand for minerals is indeed going to grow based on the energy transition, the majority currently sees a scenario that does not allow for large investments. Given the increasing focus on organic growth and M&A that we observed in the previous question, we expect to see mining companies working to advance studies and to generally de-risk projects to be able to move toward investment decisions, and possibly with a continued focus on brownfield projects in the immediate future. The 2024 survey returned positive results in the outlook for market conditions, spending plans, and new project activity. Compared to last year's survey, the 2024 results show significant increases in the percentage of respondents who believe market conditions will be conducive to greater spending, and the increase was even stronger among respondents who work for mining companies. This appears to be translated into a stronger trend to actually increase spending. Among the total pool of respondents, the intention to spend more in the year ahead rose to 70%, compared to 57% last year. And among mining company respondents, the 2024 intention to raise spending grew to 81% of respondents from 51% a year ago. 49% of respondents believe that new project activity will accelerate in the year ahead, up from 39% a year ago, and just 10% of respondents said that new project activity will decline, which is the lowest response in the last few years. The improved market conditions and intention to spend are supported by improving sentiment around access to capital. 52% of respondents said financing conditions for mining investments in Latin America will improve over the next 12 months, versus 42% a year ago and 30% 2 years ago. Many survey respondents commented that they are watching and expecting to see more favorable interest rates in the coming months, while many also commented that financing conditions will continue to depend on the sociopolitical situation of each jurisdiction and, as always, the quality of each project. This outlook of improved conditions appears to be supportive of plans to raise capital. This year's survey shows increased percentages of respondents who say their company plans to seek financing in the year ahead, both among the entire pool of respondents and among respondents from mining companies. 36% of all respondents say their company will raise capital, up from 21% a year ago, while 48% of mining company respondents reported plans to raise capital, an increase from 29%. As has been the case over the history of our survey, political or legal uncertainty is seen by the largest chunk of respondents as the primary risk facing mining activity in Latin America, though the piece of the pie was smaller than in previous years. In 2024, 45% of all respondents chose this alternative, shown in dark blue, while another 8% said that the related problems of general country risk or resource nationalism are the main risk, shown here in orange, for a total of 53%. This is actually a reduction compared to a year ago, when a combined 70% of respondents said that these were the main risks. Conversely, a larger proportion of respondents in 2024 said that community relations risks are mining's biggest threat in the region, with 26%. Regarding which Latin American country has the best investment climate for mining in the near or medium term, 40% of respondents chose Chile. The results to this question over the past 3 years show an upward trend of confidence in Chile, Peru, and Argentina, and a downward trend in Brazil and Ecuador, with Mexico and Colombia consistently receiving few responses. In the case of Chile, respondents noted that uncertainty has declined since the completion of a complex political process that resulted in higher mining royalties and modifications to the mining code. And respondents considered that the administration of the left-leaning president, Gabriel Boric, approached the process reasonably. Respondents who selected Peru as the best Latin American country for mining investment mentioned the country's large and varied mineral potential and clear legal framework, while acknowledging the continued challenge of community relations. People who are most optimistic about Argentina noted the political turnaround that came with the arrival of President Javier Milei, who is aggressively attempting to change the nation's macro and economic course, as well as the country's strong project pipeline and the active promotion of mining in certain provinces. In the case of Brazil, the reduction in responses could be partly attributable to ongoing discussions in Congress regarding tax reform and public sector strikes that have caused delays in an already convoluted permitting system. It's also worth noting, however, that the survey requires respondents to select just one country, and improvements in one jurisdiction that result in increased responses do not necessarily indicate a decline in the conditions in other jurisdictions. Thank you very much for watching, and I'd like to remind BNamericas subscribers that the full Mining Survey 2024 report is available on our platform with extended results and analysis. For those who are not yet subscribers, I invite you to visit BNamericas.com to see how our offering of news reports, project profiles, and data can support your business in Latin America.